Allentown, a small community in central New Jersey. Unknown by many, though quaint, Allentown has a lot to offer, from its beautiful rivers to its friendly business owners. You see, I've grown up in Allentown for 18 years, and it has been great. But the problem is the impact that it's left on the world, which in words is very minimal. That is until August 6th, 2016.
Let's just get into the first question. What was Tdog Summer Bash?
Wow. What wasn't it? I mean, it was a party, an economic boom. I mean, it set the tone for the music industry all in one, and I think it was the best night of my life, hands down.
I would describe it as more than a bash, more like a movement of the century, one would call it. If you kind of mix Project X and just the best day of your life together, that's how I would describe it.
You know Coachella?
Yeah.
It's like that on crack. It was like 100 times better than Coachella. That's all you need to know, really.
In my words, I think it's comparable to the moon landing. You know, if you weren't there, like for example, I was not there. So I think it's comparable to missing the moon landing. It's just as colossal as it. And yeah, if you weren't there, I mean, I wasn't there, so I can't really say much about it, but boy, have I heard stories.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. It was spread by word of mouth all the way to the town where I lived. It was all anyone talked about. I mean, we had a summer pool party bash, and all anyone was saying the whole time was, this is no Tdog Summer Bash.
To say Tdog Summer Bash was a fun party would be a ridiculous understatement that only buffoons would dare utter. It was the party, no ifs, ands, or buts. It changed life in Allentown as we knew it. Things like the real estate market and the music industry, hell, even the economy boomed at a global scale. But before we get into what Tdog Summer Bash meant for so many people, we have to start out at the beginning, at the spark of the party. Tdog was born at an undisclosed location at an undisclosed time. Fortunately, we were able to get our hands on the birth certificate, but upon further inspection, it proved to be useless as everything was redacted but the words Tdog and birth certificate.
Well, I mean, I've heard the legends, obviously, but, I mean, they can't all be true, but I've heard from, like, pretty trustworthy sources that it was from up there, heaven. He was sent down from above to just change the world around. Think of the time, 9/11, something else that happened before 2003, and then he came along. Think of all the great stuff that happened. The recession, whatever, Trump, whatever. Obama, who's good. Tdog Summer Bash.
What's your take on that? I heard that he just popped out of the middle of the ocean one day, and he was drowning, but he was rescued by a whole bunch of fishermen, and then they brought him back to shore, and now we have Trevor.
Now, we could go back and forth all day regarding Tdog's origins. Trust me, I have a lot of theories myself, but that's a story for another time. Right now, we need to focus on the bash. It all started with this idea that with a little bit of grit and hard work, a group of nobodies who knew no one, who had no connections, could throw a party. No, an experience that would impact all walks of life for generations to come. But how does one go about this? We had an expert from the University of Miami come to give us a little more insight on the subject.
if you just want to introduce yourself, name, occupation, and why we're having this interview today.
Okay, my name is Carlos Branco. I'm a professor of neurotechnologies, and I'm a school guidance counselor too. Miami University. Very respected.
Yeah, and thank you so much for, especially during these times of COVID, for your, continued support to your students.
Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah,
your
no problem, man.
accommodations.
I actually thought about becoming a guidance counselor. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And then I didn't really like working with kids or doing paperwork or really anything that the guidance counselors did, so I decided against it.
Okay.
It's just kind of one of those things.
Who's the interview about?
Oh, sorry. So today we're going to be talking about Tdog Summer Bash. You've heard of it.
Yes, of course.
So you're down in Miami University. You're, big party school. You're down in Florida. You're near Daytona. You're near, Disney World.
Wait. I'm not near Daytona or Disney World at all.
It's a little bit far away, right? But you're still, you're close enough to where you can drive, and
I guess. Yeah, you can drive if you wanted. Be kind of a weird.
How long would a drive like that be?
Be like a day drive.
Like a day with like a night on the town.
Well, yeah, it's gonna take the night too, so we're gonna be through a couple.
I'm sorry,
times
I'm not picking up what you're putting down. Is Florida that big?
Florida's a big state, so yeah, I guess you have to go through a lot of Florida, other states too. Bigger states in the way.
Other states in the way. Where are you from?
Well, I was born in Michigan. Like, I was raised there.
Sorry, so Tdog Summer Bash,
Yeah.
big party. I mean, you're part of a party school down in Miami, Florida, and...
Wait. No. Miami University in Ohio.
Miami University in Ohio?
In Ohio. I'm not from Florida.
Miami is in Anthony. Miami is in Florida. You're telling me that you're not from the University of Miami?
No. Oh, I am. But from Ohio.
Miami is not in Ohio. It is
Miami. Miami.
Yes. Miami.
Say it right.
Miami. What are you doing? What is this? What are you, a child? Are you joking?
A child? You're calling me a child?
Yeah, I'm calling
I
you
am
a
a
child.
respected professor. I am a guidance counselor. I help people with their emotions and how to control their feelings.
$500 down the drain because I didn't look at the I looked at the
because you
website. It
didn't
said
look at the
Miami.
website. Or you
Miami
think
is
you're
the
doing a
capital of
doing this
Florida.
movie,
Miami
this
is the
documentary,
capital
you
of
don't even do
Florida.
your-
Miami is. I will say it again. Miami is the capital of Florida.
Capital of Florida?
Yeah. What do you have a better answer?
Tallahassee.
Anthony, is that true?
Unfortunately, that's true. You actually work with this guy.
Okay, he actually does. Yes.
Oh my god.
No.
Oh my god.
No. Here's
Oh
what
my god.
I'm
Oh my
literally
god.
going to
Oh my
die.
god. Oh my god. You should. You should. You should. You should. You can't even use Google Maps. Take a breather, all right? All right. Let's give it.
Don't help him.
Don't help him.
Shut up. No, seriously.
No,
I
trust me. You're not
really-
actually helping.
I'm
I'm a
gonna
guidance
visit you
counselor.
right
I know
now,
how
too.
this stuff works.
I'm-
You're not. I swear to God. I swear.
Unfortunately, due to a clerical error by a member of our production staff that shall remain nameless, Anthony, that interview was a horrendous disaster. Now, the only reason I show it to you is because in this docuseries, I want to be 100% transparent. I want you to have answers. Anyway, although the thought was there for Tdog Summer Bash, it took nearly 2 years for the actual event to come to fruition. But why did it take so long?
I think no one really had the courage to pull something this grand off, especially at such a young age. I mean, what were we, like 13, 14 years old?
If that, yeah.
If that, yeah. Maybe 12, I don't know. But that's besides the point. It was, it wasn't really determined that it would be Tdog, really, but that's the guy who really stepped up to the plate and was, like, really got the job done.
Now, I could tell you things and I could say you just have to believe them. But why not take it from the actual partygoers themselves?
So, how did it affect the economy today?
So, the Dow Jones just skyrocketed. I mean, it just to heights that nobody could have ever expected. The NASDAQ ended up having just too much money coming in. We didn't have numbers available yet as humans. We couldn't perceive numbers that were high enough to account for what the NASDAQ was bringing in. So they just got rid of that. That's not a thing anymore.
In America? Wow. Well, first of all, the economic boom was outrageous. I mean, Donald Trump was saying how his economy went up. That was all Tdog, all Tdog. I know Sophia. She came in from West Windsor just for the jobs here in Allentown. She heard about Tdog Summer Bash.
The economy boomed afterwards. I think the world realized that we don't need alcohol and drugs to have fun. We just need each other's presence and a great party. And people started throwing crazy parties afterwards, and the economy just skyrocketed. I think it honestly brought us out of the recession, just this party alone.
As for the economy, I mean, my dad promoted vice president of North America. My mom, actually,
Also vice president.
also vice president.
of
Yeah.
North America as a whole.
Yeah.
How did it personally impact you, Tdog Summer Bash as a whole?
Wow. I think the first thing is that it affected my ego, definitely, just like everyone else there. I went to school with this sort of swagger the next day, just actually throughout the next year. And I think it really put into perspective how much better I am than everyone else.
Personally impacted me?
Yeah.
I mean, my ego skyrocketed. Like, ever since then, like, I knew I'm the man. Like, that, there's no way around it. It was 4 years ago, and I still think I'm the man because I went there.
Well, they really saw me, like I said before, as like a god figure afterwards, and they did have to adjust to me being obviously the highest position in the house afterwards.
Okay, how did this affect the music scene today?
The playlist went #1, right? #1 trending, that's all you gotta know.
It's still #1 trending to this day.
That's all you gotta know.
Sorry.
Best playlist.
Ever.
Well, I know the second Tdog Summer Bash playlist came out, all my friends would listen to. You know, we played it every single day. We hung out the majority of that summer, and I don't remember a day when we were hanging out when we didn't listen to that. And it changed the music industry because it really showed that one person making a playlist can change the charts. And I think it scared a lot of big artists knowing that one kid in Allentown, New Jersey could completely change the music scene.
I think the only words used to describe could be boom. Just huge. Actually, local artist Grace Carlin, whole EP based on Tdog Summer Bash. She went viral. She's actually in Hollywood right now.
Well, so the playlist consists of a lot of like throwback hits, you know, Pointer Sisters, Christopher Cross, you know, the big names. He put them all into the playlist, which, you know, completely different from the rap and this just soulless pop that was out at the time.
I mean, that playlist went down in history as the #1 playlist in the world. And it only was named Tdog. The name's gone down in infamy to this day, setting records all around the world.
Industry executives, they all know. They all know. Yeah.
Everyone knows the name Tdog.
The following is a recreation of a story told by a former employee based off true events he endured. It depicts the anarchy and greed told to have come of Spotify headquarters after Tdog's playlist improved their profit margins by 3,000%. Viewer discretion is advised.
I went in last time. I won rock, paper, scissors. Okay, rock, paper, scissors is not decisive. We decided not to determine everything. We decided. Hi, I work in IT, and I just wanted to come up because you seem to be burning all our donation money, and I really think it could be good going to good use with the other people who actually need it, especially, you know, in case anything big happens in the future. I really think we should start donating it, and I have a few ideas myself on where we could donate it and everything like that.
Yeah.
Sir, you don't need to burn the money. Sir, that's our donation money. People could be people could be using. So you need to think about this. People could be using this to better themselves, to better others. Sir, why?
Well, this isn't the donation money.
What do you mean?
This is your paycheck.
No. No! 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 I needed this! My son is Son, you bastard! You bastard! No!
How did this affect the party scene in America today?
Well, I'd say the party scene was kind of like at its all-time low before this. I mean, colleges were super boring. They didn't know what to do at parties. Like, they didn't know how to plan. And then Tdog Summer Bash went crazy by word. So then now college scenes are better, high school parties are better, middle school parties are better.
Elementary even.
Even, yeah, pre-K.
You know, I've heard, sometimes womb parties, I don't know if you know what that is, but triplets will actually get together.
Really?
I'm sure Colin touched on this. It's the basis for every party in America. It's not going to reach it, but it is. I mean, ever since then, I've been to a few parties because everyone wants a survivor of the Tdog Summer Bash at their party. And I have not been to a party like it since. So I feel like it's made parties underwhelming because it's not going to reach the level of Tdog Summer Bash. So there's really no point to it anymore. So I think the party scene in America, it actually gone down after it because it can't get better.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. It was spread by word of mouth all the way to the town where I lived. It was all anyone talked about. I mean, we had a summer pool party bash, and all anyone was saying the whole time was, this is no Tdog Summer Bash, and it was just a huge impact on society as a whole, and I don't even think you can sum it up with words what it was.
How did you hear about the party? How did Trevor invite you?
So funny story, actually. Me and Trevor lived in the same neighborhood. We were buds, hang out all the time. And I heard rocks being thrown in my window. And I opened the window, and there's Trevor on my horse. He actually hand-delivered a handwritten invite to me. And instantly right there, I was like, yes, I will be there. I took out my calendar, we wrote it down, and the rest was history.
He came on a horse and carriage, and then he knocked on my door. He was wearing a big-ass fake beard, right? And then he was just like, come with me. I'm gonna split the Red Sea, and we're all gonna go to my summer bash. It's gonna be insane. And I was like, dude, I can't say no to this. Like, I didn't really know Trevor that well at the time, but
it was just
it was an amazing experience. It was spiritual,
Do you have any story like that?
Oh wow. Nothing like that. I heard whispers that this party was gonna happen, but I never thought in my wildest dreams.
So, did you say you were at the bash or no?
No, I was not.
Oh, you were not able to attend.
Yeah.
So, when you heard people talk.
Oh wait, pause. No, he wasn't. It's not that he wasn't.
I was not invited. I did not. I did not receive an invite.
Damn. All right. Okay.
I mean, some people were just no offense. Some people were lesser than.
I was lesser than, and I did not peak.
You did not
grade.
peak.
In 2016,
And
that
you
was
still
not
have
my
it.
year.
That's the funny part. You probably won't.
Yeah, I won't. No.
He gave me a kitten, and on its collar was a little note that said, "You're invited."
Is that kitten alive today?
Yes, he's actually my best friend.
Really?
Yeah, he's gotten me through a lot, actually.
Including your Aunt Steph?
Yeah. Kitten's name is Tdog, actually.
Unfortunately, I wasn't really in the loop in the beginning. I found out about it from Colin, and then I got the invite, and hands down, I started crying. I folded into my mother's arms, and I broke down, and she was thrilled. She was thrilled for me. She cried, and she posted on Facebook.
Yeah, so he paid for an asteroid to get shot out of the sky and land in my backyard. And then I opened it up, and in big lettering, Times New Roman, of course, It said
12 point?
12, of course 12 point. This is professional.
Yeah.
It said, "You are invited to Tdog Summer Bash," and I knew I was in for a successful life at that point.
Wow, those interviews were insanely accurate and not fabricated whatsoever. Now you know that we're not pulling your chain. Let's review what we learned today. 1, we learned what Tdog Summer Bash was. 2, we learned how Tdog Summer Bash affected the real estate market, the music industry, and the economy. And 3, we learned how Tdog himself touched so many lives in the process of creating this bash. While this episode showed what Tdog Summer Bash was, we've really only scratched the surface. If you want more answers, you will keep watching. This has been Tdog Summer Bash Docuseries.
From Milan.
How is Maria? Is she well?